Earlier we were celebrating graduations with Bo Counts. This time we're celebrating Mom because it's also, of course, Mother's Day weekend. Bo Counts back. A second cocktail. You have all the mint. Is that just a mint cocktail?
Well, we grow mint outside the bar. I mean, never buy mint in the summer. Just like buy a piece of mint, throw it in your backyard. You will have mint for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Like, but we grow that, and we use all fresh stuff at our bar over at Pinpoint on Block Street. But with Mother's Day, you know, what mom doesn't like a good cocktail?
Right, sure.
You know, and for me, one of my favorite things was growing up and being able to share a cocktail with my mom. Okay. And it's great. And I was thinking of another great summertime cocktail, which is a bee's knees, because all moms are the bee's knees.
Yay.
You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
And the bee's knees cocktail is actually pretty interesting because it has a really fun, like, women's history note to it.
Okay.
So the origins of this cocktail go back, it's a Prohibition cocktail, so as early as the 1920s. And the unsinkable Molly Brown, she was one of the survivors of the Titanic. And she was a huge fan of the bee's knees.
Okay.
And at the time in Paris, she loved going to Paris, and they had these women-only bars. They were run by women, and women would only go to them. And she brought the bee's knees, as it's told, from the United States to Paris,
Over to Paris.
Really
Exploded.
so, where it was the bee's knees.
Yeah.
And so it's a super simple drink. I love my classics. It's 3 ingredients.
It looks like it's just ice and water. What's happening here with these glasses?
We're chilling your glasses. If you're ever using stemware, if you're serving a drink in this is called a coupe glass. You want to put some ice, a little bit of water to get it cold, because the colder the glass is, the longer you're able to like hold it in your hand without it getting warm, and the more perfect your drink will stay. So always chill your glasses before you make your cocktail. And then, you know, once it's sufficiently chilled, you know, you dump that out and you see you've got like a beautiful frosty little glass.
Yeah.
So the bee's knees is great. You have 3 ingredients. You have gin. You have honey, local if you can get it. Today we're using Ray's honey, which is right here out of Elkins, Arkansas. Yeah. Love it. You get a little taste of your local area, and it's good for your immune system. And some fresh squeezed lemon juice. So we squeeze this in advance, but if you've got a squeezer, or about a half of a lemon is about a ½ ounce of juice. So what we're going to do, since we're going to make 2, we're going to double each of these. Okay. So you'd use 2 ounces of gin, but I'm going to put in 4.
And you're a gin guy. Why this particular gin for this cocktail?
I love gin. Drumshambo is Irish gunpowder gin. It's really tasty. Juniper's going to take a back seat. You know, a lot of people go, oh, I just can't drink gin. No, it's like a pine tree. And, you know, juniper is...
Not a pine tree.
Not a pine tree.
No, but... You know, most people have had like too much Beefeater in college when they had their graduation, right? Right. And, you know, not all gin is like that.
Sure.
Gin is actually flavored vodka. It's the original flavored vodka. They just put a bunch of flowers in there.
Oh,
and usually juniper berries. So that's where you're getting that pine tree note. So then we're going to get some honey, right? So we've made a local honey.
Good for your immune system.
Good for your immune system. So about a ½ ounce per cocktail.
Okay. But honey is usually a little thicker than that.
This is a honey syrup. Okay. So in a bar setting, if you're using this all the time, you mix it 1-to-1 with water. It'll bring out some of those flavors, and you're not sitting there having to stir it. But if you only have the scoop, just shake it a little bit harder. Right. Okay. Yeah, and it'll
soften it up.
And then 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. Okay. And then we'll do that once and twice for both cocktails. And then you're just going to shake it up.
So this is a shaken cocktail. Earlier it was a stirred cocktail.
Earlier it was a built cocktail.
A built cocktail.
You build it right in the glass. This you shake in a tin. So yeah, you pop that on, give it a smack.
Give it the Tom Cruise. Yes, please.
Oh wow!
Just all over the place, right?
Yes, I love it.
I felt like I needed to
at the bar.
I know. Needed to buy tickets to that show.
All right, and then sometimes if you like little ice bits in the top of your drink, then you just use your regular Hawthorne strainer. But if you want a cleaner, less ice-filled drink, get your second strainer. This is called a double strain.
Oh, you strain it into a strain.
Yeah, you strain into a strain.
Love the idea of that.
Yeah. So that way, you know, you don't get all those little, especially if you're shaking with fresh herbs, or if you've got like ice from your freezer that's not great ice.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you do there. And I like to, going back to that mint.
Of course, a piece of mint.
Put that in there. You know, get a little bit of fresh mint, and when you
my goodness,
when you
show that mint the bee's knees.
That's right. Well, what that does is that expresses the oil out of the leaf of that mint, so it wakes it up. You get a big,
It's awoken. It has been awoken
smell.
Thank you.
There you go,
Poor
guys.
little mint leaf.
I know.
Yeah,
Cheers.
You just got to wake it up.
Yes.
Yeah,
let's try it.
That?
Delicious.
I mean, it's from the 1920s.
Yes.
It's survived all this time. It is the
Thank goodness
Bees
it doesn't taste like the 1920s. It's a little bit of a newer twist on that. Thanks for joining us, Bo, providing those cocktails as always.